Hey guys, welcome back to the Apartment 3 podcast. Today we have a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes. From North Las Vegas. That's with an F. Rickie B. In the place to be.
Awesome. So kind of just tell the people that don't know a little bit about yourself.
From North Las Vegas. I'm a music artist, producer, engineer, singer, songwriter, dancer. I have my own shoe line. I cut hair. I do a lot. But really humanitarian at the same time. That's like my persona. So I'm really just all about the people, trying to save lives with, my purpose and, just trying to become rich at the same time.
Of course. Isn't that all of our dreams eventually, right?
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about money.
Yeah.
So you said you had your own shoe line, right?
Yeah, I do. The Rickie B collection. I launched it in August. I actually got a chance to, out of nowhere, collaborate with a company called Alive Shoes, and they're based out of Italy. And I just saw an ad on Facebook. It was so random. Saw an ad on Facebook, and it was like, "Hey, become a shoe designer." And it's crazy because 2 months before, I was actually talking with this guy about having like my own shoe, because I always used to like play around and draw shoes and stuff like that back in high school, and I've always wanted my own shoe line. So when it popped up, I was like, oh, maybe like this could give me like some step by step, on how
no
to
pun intended,
become, right? Yeah, how to become, like a shoe designer or have your own shoe line, or like, maybe I would read an article, because I read a lot of articles, so it's like I thought it was gonna be that, and it was like an actual like an application. And I did the app I went to sleep. This was at probably 11 o'clock at night. I went to sleep. I woke up at 4, got an email from the CEO of the company. His name is Luca Botticelli. So shout out to him. And he was like, "Hey, I just saw your application. I really like what you're about. I love the fact that you're in the United States and in Las Vegas, and that you're starting from nothing. And I'll put in a good word for you." And so he really liked my whole shindig. I have a slogan, so it's embrace your soul, purpose, and walk into your destiny. And so he loved that. So he put the referral in, or he put a word in, because he wasn't over who was accepting the applicants. And then I went to work. 2 hours later, I got another email saying, "Congratulations, we have accepted you." So from there, I had to, do some paperwork and everything like that, of course, and read over all the guidelines. And then they sent me the base packages for their shoes, and they were like, "This is what you have to work with. Go ahead and design. And then if we like your design enough, then we'll allow you to put it out there." And then I did that. So then I had to get 7 pre-orders. And once I got the 7, I was an official shoe designer with the company. So now I'm an official partner with the Live Shoes. And I have my own shoe, wearing them right now. So
nice. We'll link it for you.
Yeah,
so
no,
that
definitely.
Make sure
definitely.
You don't got to kick your leg up on the table or anything crazy.
Yeah.
So you do music as well, right?
Yes. Yeah,
and
yeah.
When did you first started getting into doing your own music?
Honestly, I've been a music head since I was a baby. It started out as me dancing, and Michael Jackson was my influence. So I was always dancing for my family, moonwalking or whatever the case may be, watching his concerts over and over and over again until my sisters, at the time we had VHS, so they taped Oprah over it, and
no,
that's dirty.
I was sad. I was sad. So shout out to my sisters for that. But I found a way to get another copy, watch it again. So, so it started out with that. I was always kind of like making up songs in my head, just for play or whatever the case may be. But I didn't start kind of getting serious into it until I was about 11, when I moved to Wisconsin. And I met up with my boy Ataya. He goes by GB Wig, so shout out to him. He's a rapper out there in Illinois right now. So, but me and him, we would make songs on the bus all day. we thought we was the hottest 11-year-olds out there. And then come to find out we weren't actually rapping about anything. And then I moved out here to Vegas and just kind of stuck it from there. By, you know, I kind of met up with a couple of people who had the same, you know, interests as me and everything like that. Shout out to my boy Queasy. He's actually an artist of mine as well. So and he just got into music last year, which is crazy. So it all works out. But yeah, me and him would make songs about nothing. And then high school, meeting up with Miles Lowe, seeing what he was doing kind of inspired me. And then everybody was just like, I always used to freestyle. So it was like, hey, you should make a project. So I met up with this dude, Tiny G, he's like my brother. And he actually had a studio, him and his dad, rest in peace. He's like my second dad. But he brought me in, taught me about the studio, how to work, you know, how to mix and master, how to record, and I made my first song. And from there, it became like a passion, you know. So I've carried that, all the way up until now and forever. So yeah, it's kind of stuck with me. But there's been a lot of key moments in my life that have like kind of just pulled me. So it's like music has always been there. Even like with my family, my cousin, he lived with me for a short amount of time. He's a professional drummer. So I was around him all the time, trying to learn how to play the drums, you know, sneaking on his drum set. His sister is a professional singer, songwriter, who's probably the dopest lyricist I've ever heard in my life. And not just because we family, like she's dope. She actually sung the original theme song for the Wendy Williams show. Oh, really? Yeah. So she was always singing. I'm like I said, I was always dancing, so I was always around it. So it's always been around. I just, you know, I didn't know that that's what I was supposed to be doing. I thought I was gonna be the next short Barry, you know, football player like Barry Sanders, and turns out I'm a music artist. So yeah.
So you said you were living in Wisconsin. So where are you originally from?
Well, I say I'm from here because this is where I grew up from. Okay. I was born in Southern Cali. Okay. Lived in Victorville. Lived in the Valley for a little bit. Moved to Victorville. Moved to Missouri. Lived out there for 9 months. Moved to Wisconsin for 2 years. And then I moved out here when I was 11, 12. And then I've been out here basically ever since until I went to college. So, yeah, I'm from here, but I was born in Cali.
So coming from me, where I basically just grew up in Southern California, didn't really move too much. How is it going from one place a couple years, going to the next? Like how difficult is that?
Very, as a child, because you have to continuously like learn how to make friends, you know? So like moving as much as I did, it was like, okay, I know this person for like a year and then I'm gonna move away. I was always envious of other people, you know, when I would move places and they would, oh yeah, I've known him since I was like 2 or 3 and blah, blah, you know, like, so the hard part was just always having to adjust to a new place, especially like we moved from Cali to Missouri. So that was like climate, you know, change. Like we went from sunny all the time to freaking raining all the time, tornadoes, like, you know,
you ain't gotta worry about that.
Moving to Wisconsin where it's negative 13 degrees in the wintertime, and you got deer and moose in your backyard, you know, and then coming out here where it's hot all over again for forever. So it was a tough adjustment, but I think the thing that made it kind of easy was just my family, because we're all goofy. Like those are my best friends right there. Which is, you know, I'm blessed. Like my parents, they did a great job with all of us. I'm the only boy too, so it went from me being tortured as a kid with 3 older sisters to now, you know, we're inseparable basically. So
you you produce as well, right? When did that start happening? Like, what made you get into producing?
There was a video game called Frequency way back early in like 2003 or something like that. So that caught my eye because I always was interested in how people like made beats as a kid, besides like, you know, seeing a live band. But like it would be like the synthesizers or like a lead or like, you know, an electronic sound. And I'd be like, who is playing that? You know, like, how is that, you know? And so that game kind of opened my eyes like, oh, it's kind of like, you know, generated, you know, or whatever. And then in high school, towards like my junior or senior year when I met up with Tiny G, he introduced me to like, well, actually, take that back. Before that, I was in broadcast journalism. And so seeing, like, I had to do the music parts for them. So we were using GarageBand. So that was my introduction to production, was through GarageBand. And then from GarageBand was FL Studio. And then I learned how to do everything through FL, working on a MIDI or whatever the case may be. And then from that, you know, just bouncing around to different programs and, you know, just trying to adjust to figure out which one was right for me, which I love FL to the death of me. So that's my go-to for beats. But I do know how to use like Logic and Pro Tools. So I'm pretty well versed in a lot of different areas when it comes to production. But yeah, that's kind of what jump started. But I've always wanted to learn how to actually play instruments too. Yeah. So I can I can create and do everything, you know, on a computer, but actually playing it, I've never really had a chance to practice playing on a piano or playing on the drums. Because like I said, I was legit trying to be the next big football player. So I dedicated literally all my time to playing football, going to Nike camps, going to, you know, these different combines or whatever the case may be, and really trying to make it as a football player.
So when did you realize football wasn't going to work out and you switched more of your focus to music? When did that happen?
After my senior year, well, actually, it was during my senior year I got injured at Dixie State football camp. And just how kind of like the coaches, you know, how they treated me that year, I kind of fell out of love just due to the politics side of it. And it was really hard for me. I low-key got depressed. Nobody really knew it, but I was definitely devastated because I felt like that passion just falling away. And so that's where literally music kicked in. Like I was sitting there on the computer like every night, like just making a new beat, you know? So, yeah, about that time. I was going to try to come back around like my freshman year of college or whatever the case may be, but I tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus.
Oh my god!
At the same time.
What was holding your leg together? A couple bones?
My muscle.
Oh, so how did that happen?
Yeah, no. So I was actually training for flag football, and I caught a pass. I saw one dude coming, and I juked him pretty crazy. And then I kept running. There was another dude coming, same angle. And in my head, I was like, you ain't just see your boy? Like, I'm going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I went down to the juke, and there was actually like a hole in the turf. So when I stepped in, my leg got caught, my knee jerked.
Oh, man.
My body kept going, my knee stayed, and then I just crawled off the field.
How was that pain?
It actually didn't hurt until, I'll say like the third day.
Really?
It was the weirdest feeling. It was a funny feeling, honestly, because it wasn't pain that shot through. It was like, you know, when you hit your funny bone, that's really what it. So
it's like
I was
uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I was legit laughing the whole time. Well, I knew I couldn't walk, but I was laughing because it
was weird.
It was weird. I don't want to say it tickled, but it was just like weird. So, it didn't hurt till like day 3. And then I didn't even know I had tore it though. Cause I gave myself, I was like, okay, in 3 days I'll be walking again. Like if I'm not walking by day 3, then I'm gonna go to the doctor. And so I went back out to practice again, and I threw a football and my knee just collapsed again. Just throwing a football. So that's when I knew, okay.
Did you end up having to get like surgeries for that? How long was the process for you to be like fully healed?
Probably 1.5 to 2 years.
That's gonna be rough.
Because I was walking again, and that's even with like a fast recovery though, to where I'm like active again, playing sports and stuff like that, like running like normal, you know, and doing everything that I used to do. That was a grueling process. The worst part about it, and nobody told me this, but it was the anesthesia trying to wear off from your body. So taking a piss afterwards
Oh, man.
was the worst. Bruh, that was the worst experience of my life. Just going I hated going to the bathroom for like 6 months.
I've lucky enough haven't broken a bone or anything. Worst thing, I mean, I kind of messed up like my tailbone.
Yeah.
But like I couldn't imagine all three too.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's called a triad tear. So it's one of the more rare injuries to happen because normally it's just your ACL, or your MCL or LCL, but all three at the same time.
How'd you get so lucky, huh?
That part. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. Well, I think it's about time to take a break. So we'll be right back after this break.
All right, and we're back. So you talked about how Michael Jackson was a big influence on you on your childhood. Mm-hmm. Did you have any other big influences?
A ton. Like I said, everybody that was basically in my family or around me was pretty much a big influence for me personally. But industry-wise, like I said, Michael Jackson, you got Prince, you got Bone Thugs and Harmony, you got Usher, who else? Anita Baker. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's hard just to think of off the top of your head.
Yeah, but a lot of mine though are like I'm big on like old school, especially like 90s, like yeah, definitely like 90s and early 2000s. So like even like Nelly was an influence for me. T.I. was an influence for me. Ludacris, definitely Ludacris was one of my big ones. So rap wise, producer wise, Timbaland, Jay Dilla, Dr. Dre, Pharrell, definitely the Clips, or well, not the Clips, but whatchamacallit, his whole crew, Pharrell, the Neptunes, sorry. Yeah. But they produced that beat for Grinding. That's what really set it off for me, for the Clips. So yeah, those are like really my big like producer influences. Like anytime I heard a Pharrell beat, locked in. Jay-Z actually too. He's the one who wanted. He's the one who got me like wanting to rap. Cause I always like I said, when I made my songs like as a kid, like I was singing. And then once Jay-Z, like once the Black album came out, that's what made me want to rap. So that's the whole lyrical aspect. And then going back into Biggie, Pac, like, you know, listening to them. Yeah, they were, like I said, those people, whoever I just named, like that was my go-to right there. So
you said you dance as well. So how did, you kind of mentioned it, you would always dance for your family and stuff. Mm-hmm. So how did you take classes, or you kind of just was doing it yourself?
Nah, I'm the type of person, like if I could see it, I probably more than like can do it. So it was just, like I said, me watching it. It was almost like film study for me, you know?
Yeah.
Watching all the concerts and everything. Like I can mimic everything, you know, down to the T. Like I used to legit do Michael Jackson dance competitions.
Really?
Win them all.
So you can moonwalk, right?
I can moonwalk.
Oh.
I can moonwalk forward, backward, sideways.
That's tight.
Yeah.
So did your football injury kind of affect your dancing at all, or you healed and you were just right back to it?
Right back to it.
That's nice.
And I haven't danced in a long time. Like I can still move, but like choreography, I haven't done in a long time. So low key, I want to get back into that. But like, you know, music is the focus. But I'm pretty sure like once I, you know, start building up, and when it does come time for me to have like background dancers and stuff like that, I gotta incorporate something,
kind of like Chris
you know?
Brown type thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Not as much movement.
It's crazy to me how they can still sing and rap and dance, and it's like I would be so out of breath, I would forget my words or something. Like, it's impressive.
That's big mental challenge. Even just like rapping on stage by itself
with thousands of people
is hard.
Yeah,
but when you got to dance and everything, like add the choreography into it, you've mastered it.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have any like favorite artists currently right now that you like listening to?
Definitely. Cole and Kendrick are always at the top for me. I'm a big sucker for lyricists because I'm a lyricist myself. So, Cole and Kendrick, Saba is another one for me. He's definitely elevated like my ear artistically. So
what was that album? His latest album. What was it? I forgot what it was called, but it was a great album, and I feel like it's still like not.
I got it on my phone. I got it. Like it's gonna bother me too.
I forgot what it was called, but I feel like it came out and everybody was talking about it, and I was like, who is this guy? And I like never heard of him, but I gave the album a listen. I was impressed. I was like,
it's Care for Me.
Good. There
Care
you go.
for Me. That was the last one. My favorite one by him is that Bucket List project though.
Yeah, see, I haven't listened to it.
Listen to Bucket List.
Okay. Yeah. So I was like, I still feel like I wouldn't say underrated because the people that do know about him respect the talent, but
dude is dope.
Yeah, I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
Dude is
like,
dope.
Just not out there enough.
Yeah. And then of course like I listen to a lot of local artists too.
Yeah.
So Miles Low definitely, Triad definitely. Anytime I show people Vegas music, those are the two people those are my go-to people besides me. Because like when I was in Reno, you know, they didn't know, so I had to put them on. Like, hey,
yeah,
you know, go ahead, tune into these two cats right here. You know, but I know them personally, so you know that I'm biased basically when it comes to people like that. King Levon, Queasy, who else out here? So many. It's honestly so many good artists out here. So, but yeah, right now, like those are the people that I'm listening to though. So it'll change though, depending on like the time of the year, like what I'm working on. I'll like listen to certain music, or I'll just tune everything out. So yeah.
So it's gonna be a hard question. I don't expect you to be like, oh, this is it. But top 5, like artists, producers, any artist basically, any musical artist.
Michael Jackson, number 1. Number 2, Timbaland. Number 3 would have to be Kendrick / Cole. They're like inseparable.
yeah.
Number 4, all time. Number 4 has to be Ludacris. Number 5, T.I.
It's impressive.
Actually, take that back.
Make a top 6.
No.
No?
Jay-Z, and then T.I., and then or Ludacris, then T.I.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
top
a lot of people are usually like, it's so on the spot. Like even if somebody was asked me top 5, like I'm like, wait, and then I'll be like 2 hours later, I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot about that guy.
I'm probably gonna do that
so,
to be honest with you. But like I said, like I've been listening to a lot of them because of just what I'm working on, the vibe I'm trying to get off for my next project. Those are my go-to people right now.
So I know you got a lot of stuff going on. You got the shoe designing, music, producing, and you see you want to be a humanitarian.
Yeah.
And so what's like your end goal with like your whole?
I just want to save lives.
Yeah.
Really. And fulfill my purpose, whatever God has for me, to be honest with you. At the end of the day is like what I want to get out of this whole thing. Music is, like I said, it's not just a passion for me. It's not like a hobby. Like this is my purpose. So, at the end of the day, like, you know, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to accomplish out of everything. So
let's say you time travel 5 years back.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell yourself?
Don't try to juke that second dude. Nah. Honestly, I would tell myself to keep doing what you're doing. To be honest with you, I wouldn't trade anything, any mistake that I made or anything like that. Like I wouldn't take it back.
So if you knew you could prevent your injury, wouldn't do it.
Mm-mm. That's what God had for me.
Yeah.
As much as it sucked, you know, I had to. That was a growing time. But not only for that, but also for my relationship as well. That's how that portion of my life is how I knew that woman that helped me would be my wife. Legit.
Nice. So you want to move on to the freestyle?
Yeah,
Let's
definitely,
do it.
definitely. Beat produced by me.
Okay.
Sample Isley Brothers. And yeah.
Tell me how.
It's good.
Right there?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody that watches this. Shout out to all of Vegas. I love y'all. Keep supporting the movement, definitely. And yeah, we're gonna keep working. Hey. Rickie B. Look, hey, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and my knees are already ashy because I've been praying. Feel like the world's praying on me, but ain't praying for me. So I'm running away, hoping that God will elevate me out of my mind into a place where I'll be bold enough to face it, trying to fight it like I'm Jason Statham and close this gap between all this darkness like Michael Strahan at a dentist office. But the odds of that are giant, and I hate braces of all types. Bracing myself for something near impossible, bracing without the be no grip away from all these obstacles, or even my mind when I don't know what's on the other side. Definitively that's fair, and technically it's not real. So what we think is true is honestly something that's concealed away in space and time. Amen. I've opened up my blinds and realized this internal light of mine has to orchestrate in order to surface. Therefore I'ma shine. The product of my mind is empty, picked from all these lines that's in me. If he ain't corrupted, sick from the entire city, feeling split between spirit, flesh, and the time. Time is right now, but I'm feeling so wrong. Righteousness dies, crumbles back to earth, unrooted and buried down in demise. Deserted but sweet because the others craving my disguise. It's crazy how a dessert can symbolize what lives inside, but the tragedy comes when I solo, I spread my wings and fly. Yeah, when I spread my wings and fly. Hey, all right.
I like that, man. That was great.
Thank you.
The lyric
appreciate
game
that.
is crazy.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I love when artists bring in like sports into it because I'm a big sport head. So that Michael Strahan giant braces, it was good, man.
Thank you.
That was
I
good.
appreciate that. Blessings to y'all, man. Shout out to you guys, honestly. I really appreciate what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
So keep it up, definitely.
So just let the people know where they can find you and any upcoming projects you got coming.
Yeah, I have a project coming up soon. I'm not going to release a date until it's finished.
Okay.
Because I made that mistake too many times before in the past. But you can find me on Instagram, Rickie B Music. My website, rickiebmusic.com. That's RICKIE, B as in boy, music.com. Facebook.com/Rickie B Music. Twitter.com/Rickie B Music. Everything is Rickie B Music. So if you want to follow me, search Rickie B Music. You'll find me.
All right, great. So it was great to have you on our podcast.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you. Hope to get you back soon.
Hey, I appreciate you guys. Definitely, like I said, keep it up and stay grandacious, y'all. All right? Yeah.
So this has been Apartment 3, and thank you guys for watching.
That's the death in the face like a million times. I'm out of street losing my mind. And you know you going reality's way in the back of your mental like a ponytail in the 90s. Functioning every night. Straight up no chaser while chasing them chickens behind me. Screaming out steady grew. With all my hitters, shout out to the family. First year, but a brother flexing like I've been here.